You know that moment when you check the time at night and your stomach drops? You were so sure tonight would be different. You said, "I'll sleep early." No excuses. Then your screen lights up, and it's 2:41 a.m. Your alarm is already waiting for you. Tomorrow is already scheduled. And somehow, you're still awake. You don't put the phone down. You don't turn off the light. You just sit there telling yourself, 5 more minutes. People joke about it. They say you're glued to your phone. They tell you to just sleep earlier, as if it's that simple. But if it were that simple, you wouldn't be here right now, watching this at an hour that barely feels real. Psychologists actually have a name for people like this, people whose minds don't shut down when the sun does. They're called evening types, or more commonly, night owls. Research shows their internal clock is shifted later. Their brain wakes up when everyone else is powering down. They feel sleepy later. They think clearer later. Their focus and energy peak when the world expects them to be done. So while everyone else is logging off, your brain is just logging in. And for many people, night doesn't feel like extra time. It feels like the only time that belongs to them. During the day, your attention is constantly rented out. Messages, classes, work, family, noise, expectations. Your brain is always on call. But at night, something changes. Notifications slow down. The world goes quiet. No one needs anything from you. That silence creates a kind of bubble, a private space where you can finally hear your own thoughts without interruption. That's why so many night owls say they feel more creative after midnight, more focused, more themselves. Studies suggest the stillness of late nights makes it easier to fall into deep concentration, to write, to draw, to think, to game, or to disappear into a YouTube rabbit hole without feeling rushed. That's why you say, just one more video, just one more episode, just one more scroll. You're not only avoiding sleep, you're trying to stretch the only part of the day that feels like yours. There's actually a name for this too: revenge bedtime procrastination. Sleep researchers use this term to describe staying up late on purpose to reclaim personal time after a day that felt controlled by everything else. You know tomorrow will be rough. You know you'll be tired. But going straight from responsibilities to sleep with zero time for yourself feels worse than losing a few hours of rest. So you take revenge on your own sleep. But there's another side to this. Research on evening chronotypes shows night owls are more likely to struggle with anxiety, low mood, and something called social jet lag. That constant mismatch between when your body wants to rest and when the world forces you to wake up. You can feel it. The foggy mornings, the promise that this week you'll fix your schedule, the late-night overthinking sessions where every small problem suddenly feels 10 times louder. A lot of people describe the same pattern online. The day belongs to everyone else. The night belongs to them. And their emotions only show up when they're supposed to be asleep. The more the night becomes an escape, the harder the mornings feel. And the harder the mornings feel, the more sacred the night becomes. It turns into a loop. Here's the important part. Staying up late doesn't automatically mean you're lazy or broken or failing at life. Part of this is biological, your chronotype, your natural rhythm. Part of it is psychological, a need for control, quiet, creativity, or emotional space when the world finally stops demanding things from you. But the same habit that protects your sanity can quietly drain your energy and mood if it goes too far. This isn't about forcing yourself to become a 5 a.m. grind machine. It's about understanding why your brain fights bedtime so hard. Maybe you need more boundaries during the day. Maybe you need small pockets of rest before midnight so night doesn't feel like your only refuge. Or maybe you just need to stop calling yourself a failure for having a late-wired brain and start working with it instead of against it. So if you're someone who always stays up late, you're not alone. And you're definitely not weird for feeling more alive when everyone else is asleep. Your mind probably found its own way to carve out freedom in a world that never stops asking for more. Now tell me in the comments, why do you stay up late? Is it work, games, overthinking, creativity, or avoiding tomorrow just a little longer? And if this video felt uncomfortably accurate, hit like, subscribe, and send it to that friend who always says, I'm sleeping early tonight. And then you see them online at 3 a.m.